Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world. I welcome you to this ISTA webinar. I've got two very nice ladies today with me here, and we will introduce to you the ISTA Universal List of Species and its identification references. That was part of an ISTA Special Project 20-2, which was led and made by Rujing Wong, and Deborah Meyer was the main contributor beside Rujing to this project. I welcome both ladies here today, and as you know, this ISTA webinar will be recorded, and the recording will be made available on the ISTA YouTube channel. And I think you will also tell us, both of you, that a lot of the things which we see in your presentation are now also available on the ISTA as well as on the ISMA website, and will help seed technologists to do their job better. If you have questions, and we reserved some time at the end for that, please put it in the question and answer box, and we will take care of it. If you cannot answer it due to time, then the questions will be passed on to Rujing and Deborah, and they will come back to you on these points. May I introduce Rujing first? Rujing obtained her PhD in plant ecology from University of Saskatchewan in Canada. She is currently the section head of the Seed Science and Technology section at Saskatoon Laboratory, which is a laboratory of the Canadian Food Inspection Agency, CFIA, and accredited as Lab Canada 08. Her roles at CFIA have included research scientist, curator of the National Seed Herbarium, program coordinator overseeing accreditation programs for Canadian seed testing laboratories, and supervising of diagnostic steps supporting seed certification and phytosanitary certification. Rojing is active in ISTA since quite a long time, and she served as a vice chair of the Purity Committee from 2016 to 2019, and chaired the committee from 2019 to 25. 25 was when she decided to run for the ISTA Ecom member and was elected as a member at large and at the 34th Congress in May last year in New Zealand. She has actively contributed to technical committees, ISTA rules proposals, associated validation studies and tool developments, and multi-TCOM working groups. Starting the presentation of both will be Deborah Meyer. She received her bachelor's and master's degree in plant biology from California State University in Sacramento, CSUS. She served as program supervisor for the seed science, nematology, and plant pathology laboratories at the California Department of Food and Agriculture, CDFA, Plant Pest Diagnostics Center. She worked in the field of seed quality testing for 41 years before retiring from CDFA in 2019, and she continues to volunteer in the Seed Science Laboratory. Deborah's area of interest includes seed identification, seed testing methods development, and the development of educational material related to seed identification and purity analysis. And partly this project goes also in that direction, of course. Deborah was an AOSA certified seed analyst, purity and germination, and SCST registered seed technologist. She served as AOSA president from 1994 to 1996, and as AOSA Rules Committee chair from 2001 to 2006, and as co-chair of the AOSA SCST Purity Testing Committee from 1994 to 2025. In retirement, she remains an active member of the ISTA Purity Committee, a member of the AOSA SCST Seed Technologist Examination Board, and she contributed numerous fact sheets to the ISTA Universal List of Species posted on the ISTA and the ISMA websites. Thank you to both of you to be present here today, and I hand over to, I think, Deborah now to start with the presentation. We talk later. Deborah, you're muted.
There. Is that better? Okay.
That is much better.
Okay, I'd like to welcome everybody to the webinar this morning or this evening, wherever you are. And I would like to thank ISTA Secretariat for the opportunity to present the new and improved aspects of the Universal List of Species. Next, Roisin. Next slide, please. Thank you. Let's begin with a brief overview of our webinar today. We'll be reviewing the history and the original objectives of the ISTA Universal List of Species. We'll look at the content of the original species fact sheets published in 2014. And Roisin will describe the Purity Committee's Project 20-2 to expand the information available to users of the UL fact sheets. We'll see examples of the new UL fact sheets. And finally, Roisin will discuss the value of the ISTA UL fact sheets and many other resources for seed identification available on the International Seed Morphology Association website, which is hosting the ISTA UL fact sheets. And as Andrea said, if you have questions, we'll answer those at the end of the presentation. Next, please. Okay. The original universal species list was developed by the Purity Committee Seed Identification Working Group. The first objective of the working group was to develop a list of the minimum species content an ISTA accredited lab is expected to have in its seed reference collection. Obviously, most labs have many other species in their reference collections that are related to their region in which they're located, but the universal list was to provide a baseline from which to build a reference collection. The second objective was to provide some guidance to the ISTA Proficiency Program in regards to the types of species PT participants should expect to encounter in their proficiency samples. The PT rounds are not limited to this list of species, but it gives the PT program and its participants a baseline from which to work. The third objective was to demonstrate that there is an expectation that ISTA accredited seed labs should be able to morphologically identify certain species encountered in routine testing to the species level. Next. The original Universal List project started in 2003 with a survey of ISTA member labs to determine the species most commonly encountered in routine seed testing. The first version of the Universal List was published in 2004, and it included 100 species. Later, the list was expanded to include some common tropical and subtropical species. At this point, the Universal List included 130 species. The formal Universal List was published on the ISTA website in 2008. Fact sheets and seed descriptions, digital images, and in some cases illustrations were developed and posted to the ISTA website in 2014. Laboratories from Canada, Hungary, France, and the United States prepared the original fact sheets for the UL species. Next. Next, Roisin. Roisin. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. In 2014 version of the UL fact sheets were generally limited to a single page per species. And on the left, we have a non-grass fact sheet example for amaranthus or pigweed. Non-grass seed descriptions included the general shape, normal size range, color, surface texture, distinguishing features, embryo shape and position, and endosperm and or perisperm description. And on the right, we have a grass species example for Penicetum glaucum or pearl millet. For grass species, the descriptions were a bit more complex and included spikelet composition, such as the numbers of glooms and fertile staminate or sterile florets, floret arrangement, subtended structures such as bristles if present, general spikelet shape, size, color, surface texture, and other distinguishing features. Fertile, staminate, and sterile floret descriptions included similar details. For the Caryopses, outline shape and direction of compression, size, color, and surface texture, as well as embryo length relative to the Caryopsis length, endosperm composition, and hilum shape were described. So now I'll pass on to Rojing, and she'll describe the Purity Committee Project 20-2.
Yeah. Okay. So with the first version of that universal list, the committee received some feedbacks, and also we look at the developed material. So there have a few concerns. It's because it's not easy to see the picture. So the first version is more like a PDF version. So the picture only like a printed version. It's hard to enlarge or to replace, to update. So then the committee had a discussion. We're going to develop further information to assist seed identification for species on the universal list. So then we have the idea, the Impurity Working Program 2016 to 19. Then later on develop a proposal and submit it to ISTA for support, and we got approval for this project. So now the project, after 3-4 years development, the outcome of the project is different from the first version, or the improvement from the first version. First is we provide a little bit more diagnostic images. And so-called diagnostic images is we have a protocol to generate these images. And the purpose is for diagnostic purpose. So for that reason, so the image would include the close-up feature and also including variations. So here just gave you some idea to indicate the diagnostic features and their variations. And also all the data, we have a standardized method to get the data. For example, the measurement, description of features to be standardized to allow people in different language or different background, different expertise, still can understood what is a feature referring to. So there have some drawings and to illustrate that. And also all the image must use verified specimen to make those image to make sure the information we provided is reliable and accurate. And second improvement is the image is more systematic. The information is more systematic to assist seed identification. So the image here, the example we showed is for one species or some example species. The dispersal unit would have a diverse format. So for analysts who do testing, they could encounter different type of dispersal unit, like fruits or even fruits, like example here have perianthus attached to them, or to the seeds, to embryo, all systematic information of morphological features are comprehensive for seed identification. The other thing is also in this improvement of new version, we provided reference. With understanding people are doing diagnostic testing, they are very busy, they don't have lots of time. However, sometimes when they have some very difficult species, they need further information for that particular one. and the reference can provide them to further study them. And also because it's a digital format in a website application, so if any information need to be corrected, new information need to be added, or the name was changed, all those kind of things can individually update it easily with a web application rather than a fixed PDF format. So this is a second improvement is comprehensive guide and consistent continuously updates for the information provided. The other improvement to provide comparable information for similar species. So the first version, we don't have much time to develop a similar species. However, in real diagnostic need, without knowing something have a similar looking, you sometimes couldn't make a certain identification or accurate identification. By providing the similar species with comparison side by side for features, and also have here we didn't display some comparison tables, make the identification have more certainty. And also with this new format, we provided additional information, which include distribution. So analysts, if they are experienced, they know the distribution and other information can narrow down your search, can help you to more certain on your identification features. So this is a similar species comparison, provide certainty for your seed identification. And here just tell, I already mentioned some reference. We listed all the reference. Many of them are in a website format. So you can click the website, you can further look into whatever information you needed. And something people may not realize is there have also ID tools and ID forum. So ID forum is in response to people when they couldn't make sure what is their ID. Actually, they can upload their image to ask a panelist and their peers to give them some idea about the identification. So the information is provide more resources when you encounter some difficult species. So those are improvement for this version through this project. And next, Debbie will give some examples.
Okay. Next slide, though, Roisin. Thank you.
It has a little bit.
So now we'll look at the main features of the new fact sheets, and we'll use Conium maculatum as an example. For each species, the fact sheet provides nomenclatural synonyms, if appropriate, and common names found in various languages. And the sources of this information are provided for each entry. At the top of the fact sheet are some image thumbnails available from the ISMA gallery, which you can click on and change and enlarge the images as desired. The fact sheet, next slide, please. Roisin. Thank you. Okay. The fact sheets provide information on species distribution and the distribution maps. The maps are from the USDA plants database and also from the Plants of the World online. Also, we have habitat and crop association, life cycle duration of the plant, and the types of dispersal units. And also provided are the regulatory status of the species in various countries as appropriate. Next slide. Thank you. There's general background is provided, such as plant usage, preferred growing conditions, seed production capability, seed longevity, methods of dispersal, invasive potential, toxic attributes, and other useful or detrimental aspects of the plant or the dispersal units. Next. Additional information is provided on the floral and vegetative features of the species. Okay, next. Next, please.
Yeah, it has internet lagging.
Okay. All right, sorry. So, but the most important part of the fact sheet is the morphological features of particular dispersal units, which may include fruits, seeds, or in the case of grasses, spikelets, florets, and caryopses. The description section also includes images of whole dispersal units and close-up views of important diagnostic features depending on the species. Features described include size measurements, primarily from the author's observations following the ISMA measurement protocol that Rojing mentioned earlier, but may also include measurements from other literature sources. General shape, surface texture, color, and other species-specific features. In the case of Conium maculatum, there are descriptions for both the mericarp and the seed. And you can navigate from one type of dispersal unit to another, or from one image to another by clicking the arrows. And you can enlarge or shrink the images by clicking on the magnification icon. Okay, next. Okay. So here we have similar categories of information describing the seed. Next. And for each species, there's also a section of information on embryo size, shape, location, and the description of endosperm or perisperm if it's present in the mature seed. Next. Fact sheets provide tips to the most important morphological features used to identify a particular species and how they may differ from similar species. Next. Brief descriptions and a few images are provided for similar looking species with hints on how they differ from the main species. There's also the ability to link to available fact sheets of similar species by clicking on the scientific name when it's highlighted in green. And in this case, Docus carota or wild carrot and Petroselenium crispum are parsley are compared to the conium. And then there's a section of side-by-side images of similar species for comparison with the main species. Again, you can scroll through all the images using the arrows or by clicking the buttons below the captions. All right, getting a little ahead. Okay. Okay, now finally, each fact sheet includes a comprehensive reference list to the information provided in the fact sheet and identifies the author or authors of the fact sheet. The example sheet for Conium maculatum represents a fairly simple fact sheet, while those of other species such as grasses may be more complex. But each fact sheet is arranged in a similar format and includes the same topic areas for consistency of content among all the fact sheets. So now I'll pass back to, at some point, if there's time, we'll show a live demonstration of how to navigate through a fact sheet, but we'll save that for the very end. So now I'll pass back to Rojing to describe the value of the enhanced UL fact sheets and the many other beneficial resources available to ISTA members on the ISMA website that are designed to assist with morphological seed identification.
Yeah, So one set of species incorporated in a bigger data matrices. So they have an additional value for analysts what they do their day-to-day activity in other seed determination or pure seed purity analysis. So one of the value is this is something about general knowledge expansion. So when you don't have sufficient expertise or experience or knowledge, here provide some resources if you make a registration, which is free for people to join the secured area of ISMA website. So this just gave you an example. This for grass species, most people really have some difficulty because they are so special. But it's the expertise of Deborah, and she is really have a rich experience in develop the grass species, the whole family. So she provided the chapter about this grass family. So by going those resources, additional resource, it can help you to continue grow your skill in seed identification. And the other thing is when people don't have sufficient background doing seed testing, all the descriptions sometimes is hard to understand. However, with the illustration, with the photos, with the labels, you have an easier time to understand what is llama, what is a different terminology. So this is an extra resource available for you as an analyst. You can navigate to gain some information. And also in this exercise, when we incorporated universal list to the bigger data matrix, you can do some exercise. For example, for seed ID quizzes, so you can choose from same family, which include universal list species. You can do some quizzes. Also, there is an option. You can just choose universal list species to do seed ID quizzes. So in a resource and exercise, it's really try to provide different type of training for analysts who are new to the career to study. And also for people who experienced, they can share their knowledge, use more interactive way. For example, the exercise, the seed ID forum for peer support, and some recorded webinar as well for people to do seed identification training. And also with this way, everybody knows seed identification, seed testing is in a very niche kind of specialty. Not a lot of people are knowledgeable in this area. Therefore, when you seek help, sometimes it's difficult because the expertise is scattered in the world. So this way, when we develop a standard data protocol, standard template, and this can continue support the collaboration. So the collaboration, I just gave some illustration here, is very necessary compared to other area in testing. Because seed identification, other seed determination, the sample, you could have your own production. Also, you could have production from the other part of the world. So plants are very diverse. And also plant species are very localized. We had a workshop in South Africa. Their plant species are I never see before, but local people know it very well. So with that, the collaboration to share information is very important for the career of seed identification and seed testing. and we have to find a way how to collaborate. So with through this project, all the data protocol verified or utilized, confirmed by expertise. So this will give us confidence. Those will support knowledge sharing. And with all the knowledge scattered in different area, different place, can be continue shared with this platform to make the seed identification reference more available. The other thing is through this project, add value is we developed more authors. So, and also will continue support knowledge sharing for more or younger analysts to join this team to further develop their to share their knowledge, because all the protocol is available for people to use. This project is finished. However, the knowledge sharing is not finished. I think when you have expertise on your local species, you can continue share your knowledge, and the sharing we through the project, we make the knowledge sharing is very easy, because they have a template, they have common description, common terminology, and you can use and to help anybody who wants to share your knowledge. So that is add value after this project. So with that, we are really thanks for ISTA for support. This provide funding support to make this project is possible, and also thanks all the participant institute who also have in-kind contribution to make this project completed. And of course, we're going to thank all our project member. And of course, we have very experienced people like Deborah, and she contributed her expertise. And we also have a new analyst, like Sumia is a new analyst, just start her career in seed testing, and she goes through this project, really learned to try to develop some project. Finally, really thanks CFI team. We have a group of people, Jennifer Neudorf, Angela Salzo, Janessa Emerson. They are the author. And we also have our new author is Terry Meyer joined. We have a student, Ikshina, helped. And we also have Leron. She helped for sampling information on the ISMA website. We thanks everybody, project member. We are in a very time crunch, try to finish this project, because the initial signed up author kind of withdrew from this project. So now we can do a little bit live demo and also to answer people's questions. So I will stop this PowerPoint. Then I can start the website. So
Rojing,
I
I wanna clarify something. I think we want to encourage other people to become authors of these fact sheets, especially if you're from an area in the tropics. That would be very nice. In my laboratory, we receive a lot of ID questions from people that find things in samples that originated from the tropics, but somehow ended up here in the US, and they are struggling to identify the seeds, and so they send them to our lab. And we have to really work hard to try to identify some of these things. So it would be wonderful if folks from the more tropical areas of the world would would volunteer to write some fact sheets about the seeds that they see on probably a routine basis. And all of the fact sheets that are submitted are peer reviewed. So it is a publication that you're putting out there. And it's and we can help with you know, if you get the basis of the fact sheet together, you know, during the peer review process, we can help clean up things that might be confusing. But I really want to encourage people to say, hey, I have these species that I'd like to write about and post. Okay.
Yeah, that's really the byproduct of this project is the project is finished, but sharing knowledge can just start. Like Debbie said, they have a group of experienced people like Debbie can help, and also they have a resource on the website you can navigate, and you can learn something. Then you can find the information you need to help you. And we try to make the knowledge sharing as easy as possible. It's basically you have a fact sheet template, and when you want to share your ID information, you could just provide identification information, and we can have other project like a student from university to provide related information, such as distribution or other information. The other thing is if you want to, you don't have time to do the fact sheet, you can contribute images that also have protocol you follow. When they have a big need to develop author to share knowledge, we could also organize the author workshop and to let people comfortable to share your knowledge. Because the nature of the species localized, if everybody share your local expertise in a one place, then it's going to help other people, especially for seed trade, from one place go to another place. Yeah, I just want to add a little bit more there.
Right, and
Okay.
we do have images on the ISMA website that don't yet have fact sheets. There, so you can submit images and or you can send seeds to Rojing's lab and they can take pictures, and we can get them posted to the gallery, and then hopefully eventually new fact sheets will be developed for even those species. But just having the images available of similar species is very helpful in making seed identifications.
Yeah, this is one resources why we develop a gallery is people, when analysts do ID, I think if they never see them, they even couldn't go which family. So that is the first battle, right? By this is gave you some idea. All the gallery is sorted by family. So just you browsing, okay, what kind of family in this family, what kind of species in general there. Just by doing that would help you to narrow down what potential family or genus it could be. Then you can do further study for it. Yeah.
Right, and
I'm
all
not
those
sure.
images can be enlarged so that you can see more detail.
Yeah, I also
They're beautiful
forgot about
images,
that.
so yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Usually the imaging process, of course you need equipment, but equipment can be varied. So that is not the big battle. The big battle is to get correct specimen. So sometimes we, like some lab have the image equipment, but they don't have a specimen. If you are the person who has a specimen but don't have equipment, you can just post a question in Seed ID forum and just say, I have this specimen, who can help me to image or something. I really think analysts should help each other so that his ID forum can help you to put your question there, ask your resources, who can help. So we put a seed forum there, and now it's more like a gardeners ask help. It's not seed lab to ask help. So definitely we can.
We get a lot of things from archaeological digs too, asking for help for identifying carbonized seeds, which is very interesting aspect of seed identification.
Yeah.
So
And
can we show a fact sheet really quick? Maybe one of a grass or something that's a little more complicated.
Yeah.
Since we have a little bit of time here.
Yeah, you go to the fact sheet. There have several index you can use. If you go to accreditation, ISTA Universal List is specialized here. And of course, you can sort by family, but different. But we want to see a grass. Is this good? Dietarians.
How about Echinocloa cruzgali?
Oh, here. Yeah. Okay. So then whatever species in a universal list, you click it and it will bring you to the fact sheet, right? Go to the fact sheet. You can see what Debbie mentioned. There have several images. So this is a highlight of this image in different format, right? You can click them and you can also enlarge them in a separate photo. Then you can enlarge them to look for the details in 3 dispersal unit. So floret, this is a specklet, right, Debbie? This part.
Yes, the first one on the left is spikelet, yes.
Yeah, then
spikelet, fertile floret, and the caryopsis. Okay,
right.
so can you scroll down to the seed description? Okay, so here you can see, it's a little more complicated description than the one that I showed you earlier for conium, but you can move via the arrows back and forth to the other parts of the description for the sterile floret and the fertile floret and the caryopsis. There. So it's all there and they're very detailed. Of course, we included all the very detailed information about each species, but then when you get down to how do I separate this from another species, you can scroll down to the hints of how to separate one from another. So there's hints on the species itself, and then there's the similar species. And it'll tell you what the difference is between the main species of the fact sheet versus the similar species. And so it helps you to sort out, things that might be confusing, and then you can look at the images of the similar species compared to the main species of the fact sheet. So the whole idea is to try to produce more accurate seed identification by comparing with other species. If you don't have, all of these species in your seed collection, and you want to just verify that what you're looking at is, Echinocloa colonna rather than cruzgali, this should help you. Yeah. Okay.
Then you need help. Then you can go to your, oh my God. Okay, it doesn't work. That's fine. So you can go there. I forgot my password. You can still ask questions there.
Right. And you can sign up for the secured section, and it's free. There's no charge for it. You just have to have your, get a username and login. And I don't know if you'll be able to log in. No. Anyway, there's a place there where you can submit images of things that you've found in a sample, and you can post a question to the panel members and say, I need help identifying this. Oh, there you are. Okay, there's one we did the other day. Go to seed morphology, right? Okay, click on that and then go down to let's find the one that I did the other day. It was, I think it was unknown seed in the beta right here. That one.
Which one?
The unknown seed found in Beta vulgaris.
Okay. Sample
California.
from California.
Yeah.
So here, like you say, yeah.
So the person wrote in and said, the information they knew about the sample, and they sent in photographs just taken, I don't know, with a microscope or their cell phone or whatever. And then we respond back and say, can you cut open the thing so we can take a look at it inside, and then, yeah. And so the person cut the thing open, and then you could see the embryo and all that. So it helps. You can communicate directly with the person, and you can post questions back and forth. And ultimately, we came up with an answer for them. Doesn't always happen that way. I mean, sometimes we can't come up with an answer because sometimes it's hard to make an ID based off of a photograph. But we make an attempt at it. And they were very happy to find out what they had. So it worked out well. There's a nice shot. They did a very nice job cutting the seed open to show the embryo. So that really helped with making the identification possible. So
yeah.
But it's a resource available to anybody. And like Rogine said, that we get all kinds of things coming in. And not everything is a question about seed ID. There's also other questions about botanical stuff that they'll write in. So
yeah. So in this ID forum, there have several topics. One used the most is seed ID, but there also have like if people have question about taxonomy, nomenclature, and maybe some image, how they do imaging, those kind of things. But used the most is people inquiry, because email communication sometimes is difficult to attach all the images. But once you have images directly upload from online, then you can like easily to see, like this is Jennifer answered some question and people uploaded stuff. So initially we have all the experts like Debbie, Jennifer here, but we just hope more people join this expert group because some, for example, subtropic species, we will have a hard time to know, right? If some expertise from those area able to help. So it's really meant to be a peer support group. So this just provided a vehicle for people to have a discussion.
Okay.
Anything
Rogine,
else
can you just briefly move over to the training materials, the webinars and the posters really quick, and then we have to do questions.
Yeah, so this is a quizzes. People can try to do whatever. I just new analyst. I just want to do universal list. You can choose. Then this is kind of a pop-up image, then you select what is the answer. The other thing would be, yeah, somehow it's disappeared from my,
External reference.
yeah, there have a recorded webinar. So this, anybody permit us to post here, then you can see many webinars. So we sorted webinar based on the family. So different family have webinars you can study. And we
And
also have
Jennifer's done a fantastic job on producing a lot of those webinars. So yeah, and then
yeah.
posters from poster sessions at different meetings that are very helpful, points out, key characters to use for identification or to separate various species. So it's all very useful information in there.
Yeah, so we just realized when we have a poster, go to different meeting, when the meeting is done, and sometimes people have a hard time to find where are they. So by doing this, allow people still have access, but all the poster related to seed identification here. So this is really the resource for seed identification. Yeah. So the training in a reserved area. The reason for that is because we allow people to ask questions. We allow people to upload images without violate identity of email. It just need an email. We know who posted. Just make sure the area is secure. So that's why it's called a secured area for you to use. Yeah, so I don't know, do we have any questions so far?
We do have questions, and some of them you answered during the time as well. I would like a lot of seed identification questions. I would and put it in the chat box as well. Some came for native species, and there I would refer you to another website, which is wild-seeds.net, which you find on the Wild Species Committee of ISTA on the ISTA website, which is operating in a, let's say, similar way and gives information about dormancy and tetrazolium and purity characteristics of wild or native species.
Right, and they have an excellent gallery of images of the native species too.
Yes. Yeah. Just a project what was finished just recently on ISTA as well. And let us go into some of the questions. Now, maybe first one, Rojing, how many species are on the ISMA website?
How many species? I think for the images, yeah, how many species? We have 8,000 images of different species. But for fact sheet, we probably have 400 species-ish there. So yeah, I didn't really count because we continue publish. We recently just published Amaranthus palmeri, which is many countries treated as noxious weed. So it's a dynamic website. We publish whenever it's ready. We will make publication. So this project have a defined timeline, but for ISTA community, if we want have a common species, then whenever you are ready, you can make a publication. So it's hard to say exactly. It's constantly.
Right. And for ISTA members, if they go to the ISTA website under the Purity Committee Universal Species click there, it shows the list of the species that are on the list, and you click the link and it takes you directly to the ISMA website. And then you can navigate around in the ISMA website once you're there. Or you can go directly to the ISMA website if you just are curious about, other species that are not on the universal list.
And both links are on the website, on the chat box. I put them there for everybody to look at it. Rojing, maybe another one. What are the plans for the future? Are there plans to connect this database to AI, for example, to narrow down the species by uploading photos?
Yeah. So that's why we have an ID forum. At that time, we already think about AI. So now is an expert to answer question. It can be linked to AI. So authors provide raw data about image, about species comparison, all those kind of information. I want to add more comparison, and my IT people tell me you don't need. In the future AI, if you ask two species, what difference between two species, they can use your existing information to give you a summary. So that's why definitely AI is in our wish. It's just a resource. Now we have 8,000 images. I really want to open this data for anybody. They can do a program to help us to identify even to a family. If we upload an image, they can help us to a family level. I definitely discussed with our IT team. What they say is because our image is for analysts, the image is crystal clear. It's too good for the AI. When they say a person inquiry, you can see the person inquiry, how the quality of people inquiry is not clear, it's dark, so the computer couldn't really tell accurately what species. It's because the image quality are different. If you have an image have same quality as a published one, the AI can identify. But I'm not encourage that because our image, every single image we published, usually it's 50 to 80 slides combined, make a single. So it's really time consuming. That meant for analysts to use, not meant for machine to learn. So machine learning should be very quick, large number of images. So that, however, we already have 8,000. If somebody willing to use the 8,000 to help us to identify to even family level, that would be very useful. So the raw data is here. It's open for computer scientists to help us to develop those programs, basically. Yeah.
There are a lot of other questions. I have one other, and then I would like to give a short remark because that is reflecting to a few other questions which came up. It would be great if one could purchase a complete set of 130 Universal List seeds. Could that be a project, perhaps?
In the actual seeds themselves?
Yeah,
That's
Or
what
the,
it says here, yes.
yeah.
Yeah. So every we receive, a purity committee received a lot of requests is to get a specimen. Where to get a specimen? So because all the specimen are weeds, nobody sell the weeds. You have to collect them in many cases. Even people sell it, sometimes identity need to be verified. I think at this point, the virtual reference is available through the ISTA project. You don't have a real specimen, but you have virtual. However, for real one is shaping seeds around the world is difficult because of vital requirement, all those kind of things. One way I have been advise people, so now you know, in ISTA PT, every PT panel should contain certain amount of species from Universal List. So after ISTA PT, you better keep those seeds and keep accumulating. Eventually, you will have the full set of universal list. But
yeah, and those seeds
yeah.
that are used in the PT have been verified as to accuracy before they're sent out in a PT. So you could just, on your label in your herbarium, you could say that this sample was from a ISTA PT exam test. So that way it's verified by ISTA or the ISTA PT committee.
Yeah. We are at the end of the program. I want to mention one point. There were questions on trainings, and ISTA offers workshops from their technical committees. If you want to host a workshop, you normally need to be an ISTA member laboratory who are hosting these workshops. There are information on how to do that on the ISTA website on hosting ISTA workshops. If you need more information on that, you can contact the ISTA Secretariat, my colleague Andrea, and her information are also on the ISTA website. And she is happy to provide you more information. As the workshops are self-financing, so either fees from the participants and or sponsorships from the local organizers or other sponsors you can find.
Yeah.
I,
Purity. Yeah, I just want to say Purity committee have a workshop just for seed identification and resource accumulation in June 16 to 18, just before annual meeting this year. So that could be one you can join. Sorry.
yes, I would like to invite you to the annual meeting in Calgary. Rojing is one of the members of the local organizing committee there, representing CFIA. Thank you for your very nice presentations, Debbie and Rojing. I think it was very informative, and a lot of people participated here in this webinar. The webinar will be available on the ISTA YouTube channel in a few days. And I thank everybody for staying with us for the hour. And see with all the clapping hands and hearts and thumbs up that this was a very nice webinar and very informative. I thank you all. And until next time, there will be a webinar in 1 month's time. Please check the ISTA website for more information and subscribe to the ISTA newsletter to receive all latest information weekly. Thank you very much and take care. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.